Let's talk about hazing. But before we can discuss it, we need to define what hazing actually is. Hazing is defined as part of initiation rituals, which includes sometimes strenuous tasks that can be humiliating and even dangerous for participants. So why is this still happening? One of the reasons is because it's so widespread. One common misconception is that hazing only occurs in Greek life, when in actuality, close to 55% of all college students experience some form of hazing. The same study that produced the last statistic also found that of the students who were hazed, 95% of them didn't report their own incident, meaning that no one is talking about this issue. This study also yielded results showing that 40% of students were aware of hazing practices but didn't report anything. Becoming a bystander is the same as being an instigator. Hazing can have detrimental effects on a person physically and mentally. The physical effects vary based on the form of hazing, whether it involved alcohol or physical tasks, and mental effects can be things like depression, suicide, poor grades, and withdrawal from activities. Part of the problem is stemming from the fact that hazing isn't being discussed at a high school level or even earlier. Students are ill-prepared to deal with these situations when they arise, making them more likely to become victims. The most that students are really exposed to hazing is when it happens in their own social circles or when an occurrence catches media attention. While we as a society hear a lot about hazing within Greek life, fraternities and sororities, it also happens often within sports teams and athletic organizations, and people need to be more aware of this fact. In any of these situations, the problem is also being revolutionized by social media. There is a very public aspect to some hazing today thanks to social media, but rather than sharing a video of one of your classmates being humiliated, we should all be reporting this to school officials or even the police if it's escalated that much. Now, this isn't all to say that you are definitely going to be hazed at some point, but without being taught about the issue and without people willing to speak up, the odds are considerably higher. Now, there are some myths about hazing that need to be addressed with the actual reality of the matter. Myth: hazing builds unity. Reality: hazing builds animosity between people and does nothing to foster trust, unity, or respect. It simply makes better hazers. Myth: it's okay because it's tradition. Reality: tradition does not justify subjecting new members to abuse. Traditions are created by groups, and groups hold the power to change or eliminate them. It takes 1 year to break a hazing tradition. Myth: hazing is okay as long as it's not physically dangerous. Reality: mental hazing can be brutal and leave lasting psychological scars. Some hazing victims report that the mental hazing they endured was worse than being physically abused. Myth: if someone agrees to participate in an activity, it can't be considered hazing. Reality: in states that have laws against hazing, consent of the victim can't be used as a defense. That's because even if someone agrees to participate in a potentially hazardous action, it may not be true consent. States have their own laws against hazing and other forms of abuse. Sororities and fraternities found to be hazing have to report to their own chapters for their actions, while athletic teams have to report to their athletic directors as well as the NCAA for their consequences. To wrap things up, we should mention some team building and leadership skills that are meant to build unity much better than anything that hazing could accomplish. These alternatives are things like fostering unity. This can be accomplished simply by doing homework together, planning an event together, or having a team get together once a week. Creating sturdy leadership. Nominate or select leaders who want not only the best for the group, but for everyone as individuals. Promoting healthy activities and scholarship within the group, rather than negative social tendencies and life habits.